gonna check LinkedIn to make sure it's streaming, because sometimes it happens and we don't get the stream. Okay, I think we are live already. Just want to be sure. All right, welcome everyone. 1 second. I don't want to make the mistake this time around.
That's fine.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Well, welcome everyone to Techies15Live. Sorry, lately we've been having some issues where we think we are streaming and we are not. So we just wanted to be sure this time around. So thanks for coming, thanks for joining us, and we hope your summer has been great. Techies15Live is our weekly podcast at Immigrant Techies Network, and we kind of just do a way of staying in touch with the community and checking in on what people are building, or people that have good stories to share, or career paths, just super casual as a way of keeping the pulse of the community. So yeah, and we like to bring in cool guests every week. And today our cool person is Anirban, Banerjee. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, and you said earlier that I can call you Anir.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna be calling you Anir. And yeah, can you introduce yourself a little bit about you and your career journey?
Yeah, for sure. So at present, I work as a product manager at MNP Calgary. It's fairly new in this company. I've joined it in the last 5 months, but I've been doing product management for about 6-7 years. And one of the things that got me into product management was just my love for solving problems, and it has been consistent throughout my career journey. So if I go back to my first job, it was a customer service rep with billing issues. So solving customer problems on billing, that's where it started. And then I moved on to work for Dell as a technical support analyst. So there again, solving problems for Dell customers on about the computers, printers, and every position that I have taken throughout this career journey, whether it's being an analyst or being a project manager or now product manager, problem solving has been very, very consistent in all those roles. So,
do you have a technical background? What was your education in?
I do. My bachelor's is in computer science, and then after working for a few years, I got an opportunity to do my master's in information systems. Funny enough, I've not written a single line of code in any of my roles.
In a long time. Oh, not ever.
Yeah, I mean, excluding SQL, I've not done any kind of software development ever. It has been an interesting career path where I've worked with developers for quite some time without actually writing a production-ready code.
And are you an immigrant to Canada?
I am.
What was the transition like for you, especially career-wise? What experiences did you have from your home country before coming here, and what was that like?
It was fairly easy for me to come to Canada and use my experience because I was in US for quite a number of years before that. And what I noticed is my experiences on different roles in India and working on project management for quite some time easily translated to my roles when I was searching for a job in US after my master's. And then my experience in US working on projects and product translated easily when I moved to Canada.
To Canada.
Yes.
So yours is now you would you say it's not considered a typical immigrant story or immigrant journey, especially when it as regards to career, getting a job, because kind of you've been in North America already.
Well, not in Canada, but in US, yes, it was a typical immigrant
Ah,
journey. Um,
okay. Okay.
because when I went to US as an immigrant at that time, I was on a spousal visa, so I could not work at all. So
Mm,
it was difficult to find avenues to make ends meet at certain points. But I was lucky enough to get into a master's program and then use the STEM
mm.
opportunity to find some experience.
Okay, okay, okay. That's good. I mean, because we hear of similar stories of immigrants from the US, and many of them don't have the typical challenge, but some of them still do.
Mhm.
I know people that have worked in the US and still have trouble finding job in Canada sometimes.
It
So it's interesting how these dynamics play.
that's definitely a challenge, especially when you're moving countries. Like
Mm-hmm.
for in my example, when I wanted to move to Calgary because of family reasons, yeah, I I applied and applied. I couldn't get a job, but I reached out to somebody over LinkedIn who
Mm.
did one course from my university in US.
Ah,
And I just mentioned that, this is what I've done. I found a job at their company, and I told them why I was interested in that position and why I was a good fit. And lucky enough, that person introduced me to their manager, who then called me for an interview. I came to Calgary twice for different rounds, and I
that's
secured the
awesome.
job.
Mm-hmm. Because we talk a lot about networking and reaching out and getting out of your comfort zone, especially in a place like Calgary. We're like a we're like a big small town, you know? Like a
Absolutely.
lot of people still know each other, communities connect, and it's just important to be comfortable putting yourself out there, knowing that many times you'll get a no or no response at all, but then there'll be that one, like the person that responded to you, right?
Absolutely. And, I always believe in asking. So if you don't ask, you don't receive. And
Mm,
I must have sent hundreds of such LinkedIn connections and messages across,
exactly,
and
exactly.
one responded, and here I am.
Awesome, awesome. Now let's talk a little bit more about product management. So
Mhm.
you went from being a project manager and then you had some product owner roles,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes.
what would you say you have seen in your experience shift in the field of product management since you started practicing?
Yeah, I mean, coming from the background of project management, it's fairly easier to move one into product because a lot of things overlap in terms of skill set. Stakeholder
Hmm.
management is a big thing everywhere, and especially in product and project management roles. There are some practice challenges between product and project, and that can be overcome by taking certifications and courses.
Mhm.
And now how product management is evolving, it's going towards usage of AI for product management practices. And who knows how this is going to land when we have
I like that. Who knows?
agents,
Because these days
right?
it's like not knowing is the best thing we know.
Yes, but
Yeah.
I think it's important to uh, you know keep learning, keep abreast of how technology is evolving. Like I use AI wherever I can in my day-to-day work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also
As a
look at,
product manager.
yes, in product
So
management.
another thing we are seeing also is a trend where employers are expecting the single person who does the coding
Mhm.
to also do the design and the product management. So are you seeing that convergence of roles? Is that something you have started seeing as well?
I see that a lot in the job responsibilities for the new jobs that are coming up for a product manager. Yes. In my work, it's something that I have started doing,
Mm.
and I see that it has reduced the time to market. For example, I'm not dependent on a UX UI designer or a dev to talk about, let's say, complete feasibility of, for a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just creating or vibe coding mockups and presenting it to the stakeholders, get that discussion going on, and gets the results at least from the phase one for the discussions on
Mm-hmm. While
what's
you're
going to hit the
seeking
market.
validation,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, and
And
I'm
is that unnerving? Like, what do you think about that trend? Is that because I've talked to people,
mhm,
and especially people on the technical side, and they'll be like, no, that can never happen. There's no way someone else can do it. I mean, everywhere, everybody wants to hold on to their specialty, right? As a
right,
designer, you wanna, and of course, as a designer that you've had years of training and experience, you have a lot more to offer than someone that's just trying to figure out Canva and Figma.
right.
But yeah, what do you think about what it means when they expect you as you having one primary role, but being
Mhm.
able to light perform on the others? So does that mean we should all be learning everything? What's happening to being specialized?
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly, I don't think the world is going to be focused on specialized anymore. You have to be jack of all trades to be successful. And uh, it's not a bad thing to just not being specialized and
Mm-hmm.
just being focused on what the core responsibility is anymore. I think parts of it about knowing, for example, in product management, knowing a bit about coding, knowing a bit about user experience, user design, that helps in getting things moving faster. And that's what everybody wants. Get to the decisions faster, get to the market faster, learn
Mm-hmm.
faster
With the leanest team possible.
with the leanest team possible. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do see a world where the way AI is evolving, especially, you would have very you would have people in decision making roles and people who do that very, very well still in the process. Some mundane things, some things that can be that are repeatable will
Mm-hmm,
probably be
mm-hmm,
handled by, let's say, AI agents.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I had this session this past weekend, and I was telling people that the future is just crazy. Like you can't even predict the things that will change
Hmm.
or what new careers would look like. So all you can do is prepare yourself by staying in touch with how things are changing and understanding when you need to reskill or how you learn, thinking about how you learn,
Yeah,
not just
absolutely.
learning, but how you learn, where you get your information, and we just have to be comfortable with uncertainty in that
Absolutely.
case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, AI has definitely changed the way we look at the world and the way we work. Um, so learning has to be constant, keeping abreast with the changes, keeping pace with
Mhm.
how market is evolving, how technologies are evolving is a must now.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we're still in early stages, right? Like 5, 10 years ago, we were talking about data science in the same fashion, and
True, true,
everybody
true.
knows where it went. And who
And here we
knows
are.
if
Yeah,
AI does the same, follows the same path, or AI just becomes something that we haven't seen yet.
yeah. And also wanted to touch on your experience. Have you ever worked in a smaller organization like a startup
Yes, of course.
organization? Yes. So, and then you've had experience working in enterprises like where you are right now.
Yes.
So what would you say, how do you have to adapt your methods as a product manager if you're working in a startup environment compared to an enterprise environment?
That's a great question. Startup is very fast moving. Depending on what kind of startup you're working on and how much autonomy a product manager gets, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things that can be achieved at a very fast pace at a startup. In enterprise, it is more about crossing all the gates, making sure that the opportunity is watertight in certain cases. A lot of stakeholder management has to be done in enterprise because there is a lot of risk involved. So you need to get a lot of people on board, add into the vision of a particular product or why an opportunity makes sense, and then get a buy-in from a lot of different people, a lot of different departments before you actually push something out to the market. In a startup, you again, because you're dealing with a small team, the eventual stakeholders, the C-suite is really close to you. You can go from a conception of to a release to measurement really, really fast. So
Right.
yeah, and the resources are lesser in a startup, let's say. So a product manager wears multiple hats, whereas in enterprise you would have supporting development departments or marketing department or pricing department. Things like these, a product manager might have to do on their own in a startup.
And your project management skills are very valuable when you are in an enterprise environment.
Absolutely.
In addition to your product, yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Enterprise, for some reason, enterprises love documentation.
They love what?
Documentation of everything.
Well, we all should have them.
Yeah, it does go slightly against like one of the agile principles of preferring people processes, but enterprises have their own thing.
Yeah, and for good reason too. Like you said earlier, the risk is higher. You're
Absolutely.
juggling a lot of priorities and dependencies, so it makes sense that you'll have more controls. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. That's why when we coach people also about careers and what company you like to work for, we talk about, think about it. Do you like a startup environment where you get to wear many hats and maybe your nine, you can't really be a strict 9 to 5%. You know, your flexibility has to be higher. Or you do like the place where there's enough structure, and but so it's a trade-off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Anyway,
to learn in a startup.
Sorry, a lot to learn. Yes,
yeah.
yes. Because like you said, you are close to the C-suite. You're coming up with ideas and you're implementing it right away. There are not a lot of frictions, so you get things done.
Absolutely.
Anyway, because of our time, as an immigrant yourself, any last words for immigrant professionals that are maybe trying to get into product management or they are already in product management, and any words on how to thrive and stay competitive?
Absolutely. Network as much as possible. That's the key. And especially in Calgary, where, as you mentioned, we are a big city village. Networking is the key. Reach out to as many people as possible, attend as many seminars, webinars as possible, just keep learning and keep making connections. As an immigrant, that is the key to be successful in a country which you want to call home.
Well, thank you so much, Anirban. Thanks for coming. Thanks to everyone that's watching or that'll be watching this at another time.
Pleasure.
You're here. Awesome.
All right.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.